What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rat's Nest. This is Chrome Rat. We're here in Skyrim, particularly using the Wildlander mod pack with a challenge in mind, a Perma-Death challenge, actually. This mod pack basically makes Skyrim into a hardcore survival challenge where you start from nothing and try to work your way up and survive in a world that wants to kill you at every corner. And so this mod pack gathers hundreds of mods together and transforms Skyrim into a survival RPG. And it's quite the experience. We're going to do something a little bit different here. We're going to try to do what I will be calling a retirement run. So a retirement run to me means that we have enough gold to live out our days in Skyrim, we have a place to live, and that we're tough enough to survive, you know, pretty much anything the overworld has to throw at us. So we're going to be looking at 100k gold. We're going to be looking at trying to get to level 50, and we're going to be looking at having a house somewhere out in the world there. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I like to do when it comes to settings and all that. We'll start a new game here, and I'll show you how we're going to get set up. We'll get our character rolled as well. Welcome, Wildlander. You enter a world of beauty and brutality, where death is a way of life, and only the strong and the clever survive. Before we begin, setup needs to finalize. Please don't touch the controls during setup. A message will appear upon completion. Yeah, we're gonna have to be more clever than courageous, I think, if we're gonna be able to do this challenge. I'm totally fine using leveling strategies as well. Nothing too cheesy, but if it seems feasible, like a repeated task that I could do in the real world and grind out, then I'm totally going to allow that. But I'm not going to allow any like clipping through things, stuff like that. Good news, Wildlander. Setup is complete and your adventure awaits. Alright, for this challenge I thought I would do Dark Elf. Why not? Everyone loves Dark Elf, right? I like to start with like a preset and then just kind of change it a little bit. I like this one. It's really cool. Alright. Let's change it up a little bit, though. Change the eye shape just a little bit. Make her a little bit more shrewd. Let's do mouth shape. That's a little smug, but okay. Nose tight. Down a little bit more there. Take that in. Let's look. I'm looking for the width here. Give it a little bit more character. I think you can, like, let's say, I don't know, let's close one of her eyes. Maybe she has some scars. Let's take a look here. Yeah, let's do a scar. Maybe that's on the side of her. What do we have here? What else do we have? It's too clean. There's a scar. Wow, those are some scars. Okay. We'll do dirt. This is a Wildlander run, so we'll be out in the wild, right? The hair is the vanilla hair. I think there's some better hair here in the pack, so let's just kind of dig around a little bit. I like a lighter color, maybe. Let's dig around a little bit. Too long. Some of these are pretty nuts. Let's go with something a little... That's covering the wrong eye, come on. see here. If we go back to... Alright, let's just go with this one. Looks pretty cool. Eye color. We'll go something kind of like dark like that. Okay, cool. And I want to go with something Dunmer name. Actually, let's stop that for a second. I wanted to adjust the body real quick. Hold up. I wanted to make her a little scrawnier. Because we're going to not be a fighter. We're going to be more like a street rat, kind of. Okay. She's thinner now. Okay, cool. And something Dunmer sounding. Dagna Renvolo. Okay. That sounds like a Dark Elf house, right? Cool. We're going to do our own custom character here. So let's create a background. You may now select a background. Backgrounds reflect your skills and past experiences. There are a few ways to select your background. The choice is yours. I'll create one, like I said. So I want to be... So I have to think about two things here. One is, how hard is it going to be to raise some of the skills that I don't necessarily... It's like alchemy. I can raise alchemy, but it might be good to have a head start there. Sneak is harder to raise in this mode. We want a high sneak to start out with, trying to survive. So we'll do sneak as our first one. Alchemy to make some money. Pickpocket can be hard to raise, so we'll pick that one. Evasion is like moving with light armor. Lockpicking, sure. Let's see, I think I want illusion. Okay, we'll start with that as our background. Kind of like a rogue background. I could have chosen speech, but that's okay. The Lord is always my choice. Some damage mitigation. For magic and physical damage, I think it's a 15% mitigation. Alright, we're going to do Surviving the Wilds. We're going to drop off in the wilds around... Let's drop off around Windhelm. And we'll pop into the game. We can be the Dragonborn, but I'm not going to be the Dragonborn. We're going to be kind of like a nobody. Yes. We'll do standard difficulty, which is hard, hard, hard. And we'll begin our story. Once we pop into the game, I'm going to show you the settings that I prefer. We're going pretty much vanilla on the mod here. The mod pack here. It's a Wabbajack pack. Say that 10 times fast, right? Okay, so right off the rip, I'm going to go into my mod configuration. And for Skyrim Unbound, I like to just turn dragons on. It ups the danger level, in my opinion. So that's it for Skyrim Unbound. We'll scroll down to Follower Live Package, which is if we come across followers. I'd like to just do this in the beginning, so I don't have to do it when I get followers going. So I like to have them always looting. I like to have them always gathering from nature at a reasonable speed. I like to have the, let's see here, act separately in town ticked on. Give them some flavor, so act separately in home and inn. I don't want them curing diseases automatically because it feels not immersive. We'll give them a small probability to sing. I think some NPCs are more likely to sing than others. Idle actions will give like 10%. This one, if we have a couple followers, they'll do things together. This one, if they are together, they will talk together. We'll put low probability and change it if we need to. Okay. Also like to hire people. I like to turn the salary down. It seems a little nuts to do 10 salary or 30 every single day, and I like to give them a weekly salary. Yeah, I'm cheap, but I think they could survive off of that. And then I cut them in on any loot that we've come across, that kind of thing. Alright, there's also the health percent to flee, so let's get them to 20%. If their health reaches 20%, they will run away. There's also the... Okay, let's see here. Anything else? They will auto-buy food in town. I'll just do like one there. Let's keep it low. System settings. My home is your home dialogue, so we can establish a base anywhere in the world, which can be really useful if we're marauding around with a bunch of troops and we don't want to take everybody out at the same time. We even get to that point. And a hotkey, I'm just going to put a hotkey for an emergency warp in case something goes haywire. Alright, immersive horses, I like to put... Make sure this is on. Add horsepowers to player. It lets you add a whistle command. And all of our... Okay, hotkeys there are going to be default. Immersive horses. Alright, now I'm going to go into the Requiem menu. To the atmosphere. I like to have my cell respawn time all the way to a year for both of these. And the reason is I don't want to establish a base and then have bandits respawn in it 30 days later and be like, whoops, and then killed. Dragon respawn, we'll do it every day. If a dragon dies, we don't want slower horses, but we can put vampire raids on. That looks to be it for that. Requiem. Other than that, I think we are good to go. If you guys play Wildlander and you'd recommend any other settings, let me know in the comments. And I'll be happy to think about throwing them in there here. I also have some other mods running, like maybe 5 or 6 and a few armor mods. I will post those in the description as well if you want to check them out. Alright, so the first thing I do then is overwrite our first save. I like to get our powers bookmarked here. Let's also level up real quick. We get 6 perk points to begin with for Dagna Renvolo. So I like to be able to make stuff right off the bat. Crafting is extremely important in this mod pack. So we're going to do a level in craftsmanship. You understand basic craftsmanship, allowing you to craft and improve a wide variety of common goods and equipment. You can work with iron, steel, and other basic materials. So we'll select that. That's going to let us make things like lockpicks, cheap tricks. You have learned the basics of picking locks and gained 20 skill expertise. You can pick novice and apprentice locks without difficulty, and adept locks remain challenging but not impossible. With basic smithing techniques, you can forge iron ingots into lockpicks. So that'll be good to get our skills up and get some levels going just by smithing lockpicks. Obviously, we're not going to be wearing too much heavy armor if we're slinking around in the shadows, so evasion is important. Evasion is the art of avoiding damage in light or no armor. Light armors include fur, hide, leather, scaled, elven glass, dragon scale, chitin, and more. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, we have 3 perk points left. One other thing we're going to want to do is get our alchemy going early on. That'll give us some money. So we'll take the first 2 perks here of alchemical lore. You understand basic alchemy well enough to create simple potions and poisons. If you know basic craftsmanship, you can also craft alembics and cauldrons at a forge. So I could do that. I know basic smithing. So there's some synergy there. I'm going to throw one into our speech as well. Haggling. Your convincing appraisals net you better prices for goods. Buying and selling prices are improved by 1% per speech level. Cool. Alright, I did see what appeared to be a wolf up there, so I'm going to run back this way. Elder Gleam Sanctuary sounds dangerous, right? We also have some senses here that we can use to analyze our surroundings for hostiles. I hear a dragon. I don't think we want to go into we don't want to go into Elder Gleam Sanctuary unless we have to. We are undetected right now. I'm going to see what we can pick up around the entrance. Again, we don't want to go in. Okay, so I heard a dragon. So, like any other survival situation, we need food, water, shelter, all that good stuff. But we need to be alive for all of that, right? Oh, there's a bear over there. We are very squishy right now. I think we'll probably want to sneak. Catch that dragonfly. Sneak this way. Looks like we're still undetected, relatively. We are sneaky sneak. I'm gonna peek out from behind this log here. Okay. Oh god, I hear the dragon though. I hear the dragon. I think I see something through the woods up there, like a rooftop, so let's go look in that direction if we can. Well, not completely naked, so what I want to also do is just ditch my gear. Because we are in a naked start, so I'm going to go ahead and just drop everything that I have for a completely naked start, except for the things that we picked up already. Let's get rid of all of it. So we'll pretend to have a naked start here. So I am completely naked now is what I was trying to say, but I had forgotten to drop my stuff. So we aren't going to be able to pick that up. If we come across it later, we'll try to remember not to pick it up. I don't think we're going to come across it again, but... Alright, I do see house through the center of our screen there. So I'm going to try to sneak through this area. I can drink a bit of this water here. I think we can get away with that. We want to take care of our basic needs. There is a needs-based system here. We have 75 carry capacity. We're at 3 right now. We'll go ahead and harvest this mammoth skull. I think we could sell that. Alright, I'm still sneaking here. I definitely see a village over here. I do hear that dragon's roar. But I think we've gotten away for now. There's a rabbit there I could have taken out. Alright, so we are naked now on the outskirts of this village. With Dagna here. There's a fox. Can I get him? Nope. I need some kind of weapon. He outfoxed me, right? Okay. Do I want to try to go into town naked? Yeah, I think I'm going to have to, right? This mod pack also substantially improves the graphics and all sorts of things. It has a UI overhaul that uses the Sky UI, which is great. So we have... Darkwater Crossing is where we're at. A lot of stuff to harvest around here. I think we're going to try to alchemy it up a little bit and maybe try to make some money to buy some clothes. What's wrong with the water over there? I hear a wolf. Okay, we have a wolf on us. Let's jump. Let's run into town and see if the guards can help us. Are there guards in this town here? Did the wolf follow us? It doesn't look like it. It looks like the guard doesn't care that we're naked. What's up, homie?
Everything's in order.
I'm being attacked.
Oh.
I need help.
Come on.
Okay, this way, dude. What? I thought you were getting hyped up, man. I thought we were gonna do this. Come on. All right. So we did get some herbs and flowers and such. So that's good. I don't know if we can mix them together. I know at this level, if we eat the flowers and such, that we can understand what properties they have. There's that bear again. Over there. It's funny. Be careful that they don't think I'm stealing. Oh, there's the dragon as well, in the distance. Flying over that mountain. Just in the distance, I could see his wings. Yeah, we escaped that guy. This world is lethal, man. There's just dragons flying around already. What we don't want to do is steal from the pleasant folks of Darkwater Crossing. So let's just make sure that we're not at least stealing out in the open. Okay, I think I can go in here. Actually, there might be an alchemy table in the Copper Cask Inn. This might be where we have to set up shop tonight. It is now... Oh, we also have gold we have to remove. We don't want any gold advantage to start out with either. Okay, cool. We're good to go. We're good to go. I usually make a save with all of these settings, but I wanted to show you guys the start in case you want to replicate my settings here. So I am naked. You can actually see yourself with this mod pack too, which is really cool. Really love that. It's quite immersive. But again, I said earlier, it's very lethal. So I can eat these. Be very careful when you're eating alchemy items if you have low health. Let's just put it that way. You could kill yourself by accident. Okay, purple mountain flower. You can see in the bottom right, when I'm eating these, I'm learning all of the properties. Okay? So I took a little bit of damage, not too much. We have a couple debuffs there, but nothing too crazy. So let's pop into this alchemy lab and see... Why isn't my control working? Huh, interesting. Will I be able to talk to this guy?
What can I get for you? Food?
This
drink,
alchemy... What you can get for me is a working
Safe
alchemy
travels.
lab, sir. Let me go out and come back in. Let's see if that fixes it. Very odd. Can always get a mortar and pestle, but the problem with that is there isn't an actual alchemist here. No, it doesn't want to let me use it. Okay, well, that's unfortunate.
Welcome.
What have you got for sale?
Only the finest quality meads and ales here. Take a look.
I want to sell you stuff. How many potatoes are you willing to buy? Let's sell him 29 potatoes. Okay, we now have 29 gold. Not quite enough to rent a room from this gentleman yet. So we need to go scrounge up a little bit more Skrilla in the way of Septims. And keep our head on a swivel. You can die from anything in this, especially at this tender age of 0 levels. Level 1, sirs. Level 1. I don't think we have an axe to chop wood. We want the blue butterflies, though. I think those are pretty good for alchemy. Be careful. You don't want to steal on accident. They will get really mad about that. Okay, so we got a couple pieces of wood. If you hit the right shift key, you'll see the crafting recipe. What I really want to get is a sharp object, and then I can go ahead and make a survivalist toolkit, which will unlock some recipes for us. So I'm looking around for something sharp. It can be anything from a stone to pretty much any sharp object. Is this guy gonna let me borrow a fishing pole? No. What's up, Phasman?
Hello.
What can you tell me about Darkwater Crossing?
makes most its money off the mine. Werner's always worrying that eventually we'll run out of ore and the whole place will go belly up. Mining was never for me, though. All those small dark spaces. Get the feeling like the walls are closing in. So I spend most of my time fishing. People have to eat. I help keep them fed. That's my contribution.
Have you lived here long?
No, only a few months. Used to live in Riften. Made my way out with my brother Galef last spring after our parents passed away. In Riften there's a lot of crime. No one cares about anyone but themselves. Everyone here takes care of each other. The fishing isn't as good, but it's a better life.
I could use some fishing.
Darkwater makes most its money off the mine. Werner's always worrying
All right.
that eventually we'll
I'm
run
sorry
out
I
of
asked
ore
you
and
again.
The whole place will go belly up.
This guy might have a mental illness. Or he just repeats the same story over and over again. It's sad, really. Oh my, what do we have over here? What happened? Who is this? Irsa was shot in the side by an arrow. We gotta be careful, guys. Let's move her over here. What the hell, dude? No one can see us right now. We need clothes. Bjorcy's bargain... Dude, this is his wife? Bjorcy's bargain goods. That's this place over here, right? Do you think he'll notice that I'm wearing his dead wife's clothes? I haven't put them on yet. I don't know if that could be problematic or not. Oh, I hear that dragon as well. Things are heating up here in Darkwater Crossing. Darkness truly is afoot. Something is messed up. Bjorcy's bargain goods. I found his dead wife in the street. I don't think he knows yet. Ooh. I'm not going to be the one to tell him. Ysmir's beard. Oh my god, I can sell him his wife's clothes back. We'll sell the mammoth tusk. That's not valuable right now. Does he have a mortar and pestle? No, he has an ebony ingot. What is he? He has a sharp rock for one. I think that's going to do it for us, actually, for what we need it for. Yeah, so we hit that right shift key. If you ever want to see what the controls are, you can hit F11, by the way. And they'll pop up here for your gamepad or your keyboard and mouse. You can use both at the same time. It's really fun using the true directional movement with the controller, but in Permadeath, I want to give myself every advantage. So, all right. Anyway, so hit that right shift key. We'll make a Survivalist toolkit. And then we can look at the recipes here. Survivalist toolkit, show recipes. And you'll see we have a lot of options here for stuff that we could make. One thing I'd probably want to start with is a stone hatchet so I can chop more wood. Does this guy have an ingot? Because if he does, we can also cross something else off of our list. Yes, a steel ingot. We have just enough. So we want one of those, because then we can also make a smithing toolkit. And that's going to allow us to make lockpicks out of iron scraps and that kind of stuff. So we can be kind of a vagrant. Oh, I'm really sad about that guy's wife, man. That's really sad. Rest in peace. I put her by the... Oh, God. Oh, God. That little boy. I hope that's not her son. That is so sad. He doesn't seem too shook, but... Alright, so I have 5 wood. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to use the anvil. So I can make here a smith's toolkit. And if we look at those recipes... Yeah, we have a lot more options now. We're a smithy. So we could make ourselves some armor. We can make all sorts of stuff. But we do need materials for that. Looks like this corundum is free right here to take. What about this stuff? So yeah, I like to take whatever isn't nailed down, like the loot goblin that I am. And... Ooh, free food. I'm really liking Darkwater Crossing. I could probably sleep in one of these tents as well if things get really rough. There's a cooking spit here too, which is great. Cooked potatoes, let's do it. That's our lunch and dinner. Let me go back to that cooking menu actually real quick and show you one last mod here that I did have installed. I have the ability to cook skooma and sell it. So we'll be checking that out later as well. But thank you guys for stopping by. Episode 1 of our Skyrim Wildlander Perma-Death Challenge for a retirement run where we try to scrounge up enough cash to retire, a place to live, and enough toughness to back it all up. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.